That is the top story in this news edition. Hello, welcome to ETV News. With the news, I'm Shamal Islam. Adwa epitomizes the fact that Ethiopians are not only the source of humanity, but also of the owner of undying feats of bravery that the whole world is always proud of. President Sahle-Work Zewde made this remark at the 125th anniversary of the victory of Adwa, which was colorfully celebrated here in Addis Ababa and across the nation. Habtama Shagre brings us up to speed.
Ethiopians across the country have been celebrating the 125th anniversary of the victory of Adwa colorfully and with assorted events. Here in Addis Ababa, the landslide victory has been observed in the presence of high-rank government officials, including President Sahle-Work Zewde and thousands of people of the city. In her address to Ethiopians, President Sahle-Work said the victory of Adwa had showcased Ethiopia's strong unity and unrivaled military wisdom by inflicting a crushing blow to the European intruder.
የአድዋ ድል መላው ጥቁር ህዝቦች ቅኝ ግዛትና ባርነትን አሽቀንጥረው ከመጣል የሚያግዳቸው አንዳችም አይነት ምድራዊ ኃይል እንደሌለ
The victory of Adwa is an eye-opener to the fact that there is no earthly power that can stop the black from throwing away slavery and colonialism if they cooperate. The victory has also reflected Ethiopian mothers and fathers' military wisdom. And of course, the implication of the landslide victory goes beyond this, always being new and never outdated, with the spirit of the victory lasting forever, guiding the lives of humanity. The indomitable and brave sons and daughters of Ethiopia have astonished the whole world, having accomplished what had been dubbed impossible.
Adwa also marks the fact that Ethiopians are owners of undying feats of bravery that the whole world is always proud of, the president added.
ኢትዮጵያ የቀደምት የሰው ልጆች መገኛ ብቻ ሳትሆን
Ethiopia is not only the source of humanity, but also the honor of brave citizens that are capable of accomplishing undying history the whole world can pride itself in. What's more, what makes the victory even more crucial is if we imagine what would have happened had our ancestors been negligent and lost the battle. In other words, if the European nightmare of the scramble for Africa had been real, the whole black people would still be hanging their necks in shame.
The Minister of Culture and Tourism, Hirut Kasa, for her part said, forefathers and mothers have played unprecedented role to solidify the unity of the nation.
ለሚወዷት ሀገራቸው ሲሉ ደማቸውን በጋራ ፈሶ በአንድ ጉድጓድ ተቀብረዋል።
Forefathers and mothers in the past fought bravely and paid the ultimate sacrifice for their country. They have handed over heroism and unity to the coming generation. The ancestors taught us all kinds of love and solidarity to us. At every age range, they have been traveling thousands of kilometers to fight with suppression as well as to pay sacrifice in a bid to keep the unity of the country. All sacrifice that was paid is due to the patriotism feeling that they had.
አቀበት ቁልቁለት ጋራና ሸንተረሩን ወጥቷል ወርዷል ሁሉም እንደየእምነቱ.
The new generation needs to take good lessons from Adwa in finalizing the construction of good, thus according to the president of Ancient Ethiopian Patriots Association.
ከአፄ ምኒልክ መማር የሚገባን አንድ ትልቅ ነገር በዛሬው ቀን መናገር የምፈልገው ወደ ጦርነቱ ሜዳ በሄዱበት ጊዜ
I want to tell you this generation needs to take good lesson from Emperor Minilik. At that moment, the emperor said any difference wasn't necessary to win the battle. If we are managing this character, we can solve the existing differences with peaceful manner. This is the only way that we finalize the mega project that we commence. We have a potential to finalize this flagship project.
ያንን ስናደርግ ነው ህዳሴ ግድባችንን እንደጀመርነው የምንጨርሰው።
The anniversary has also been celebrated in various parts of the country and at Ethiopian embassies across the world, featuring various events commemorating the landslide victory.
Many agree that the victory of Adwa is considered to be a common African freedom flag flapping at Liberty Tower. This victory thus deserves to be observed in a way that can further be promoted. ETV English approached some of the participants of the 125th anniversary of the Grand Victory of Adwa at Menelik Square. Alulat Klamariam has compiled the following story.
Ethiopians from all walks of life are celebrating the 125th Grand Victory of Adwa. The victory of Adwa heralds the unity of Ethiopians, igniting a torch of freedom among all black people in Africa and beyond. The secret for the victory of Adwa was not the military advancement by the Ethiopian side, but their strength was their unity and togetherness. Their togetherness helped them defeat the external invaders of Ethiopia.
Yeah, it's visible here, you know, like it has been a while, almost, it's like the last 5 years especially, all the Ethiopian people are celebrating Adwa like in a different way. You know, it has been like a maximum of 5 or 6 years that we are celebrating it with a grand celebration, you know. But previously, like Adwa is a normal celebration previously, but now we Ethiopians, especially the youth and the children, are celebrating Adwa, and they are provoking the grand victory, the grand triumph, so that every Ethiopians could strive for their prosperity and other things. So we are proud to celebrate Adwa here, and we know that it's a grand victory. It is a special victory here. It's a special holiday, like so. We are proud to be here.
This event, it is so interesting. There are so many cultures you see here. There are also different kinds of presentation is present here. So it is interesting, really interesting.
I am really proud to be there. I am really proud to be Ethiopian. Adwa is not a gun war. It's a mind war for the black and white. We are an example of the whole black peoples in the world. So I'm really happy how celebrate Adwa, because from day to day, year to year, so many people think how Adwa proud us, and many people come to be celebrate this.
People who are interviewed by TV call upon the youth and Ethiopians to put aside their differences and replicate the very grand victory of Adwa to further maintain and promote this history and handing over it to the next generation.
It's all about how we love our country. It's all about the togetherness. We can provoke, we can preach the unity here, so that we can celebrate Adwa here, and everybody, every Ethiopian should stand for their country. There is no secret to celebrate Adwa. We can provoke, we can celebrate togetherness in Adwa. That's all I can say here. We have a lot to celebrate with. We have a lot to stand with. The list is just we need to forget that. We need to forget the other things, and we need to celebrate what we have in hand. That's all I can say, and I am proud to be here, and I wish if it is like greater than this celebration.
Yeah, for this generation, I want to advise we should be together, and also we should do everything together, and also love. We learn from Adwa togetherness. They become together, and they become the winners. So if we be together, we can win everything.
I really want to tell to the young age and now who celebrate this, to think the young age, what is the aim of the Adwa, our fathers begin end. We shall continue that.
As we continue to cover our special coverage of the victory of Adwa, the victory of Adwa paved the way for African countries that have fallen under the yoke of colonial rule to fight against colonialism and for their independence, African dissidents said. In an exclusive interview with the Ethiopian news agency, Namibian ambassador to Ethiopia, Emalia Ndilao Mukusa, said the victory of Adwa not only benefited Ethiopians but also opened the door for other African countries to fight colonialism and achieve their independence. The victory of Adwa has turned Ethiopia into an icon of liberty for black people worldwide. The ambassador further calls on African new generation to learn from the victory of Adwa and strive to create a better continent together by abandoning differences.
To Ethiopia, but also to the whole of Africa, because of the unity that was shown during the Battle of Adwa. It did not matter where you were from, and everybody came together as Ethiopians, and they fought the so-called colonizers to be, and that victory alone have opened up the doors for other African countries also to fight their battles with the colonizers.
Gambian Defense Attaché to the African Union, Sarjo Fofana, for his part, said the victory of Adwa was not only for Ethiopians but also for the African history.
When Ethiopia fought against these colonialists and he was able to defeat them, it resonated in the whole country. Say, oh, on the whole we can. So it becomes an inspiration, a motivation for people to fight for their freedom, for justice and independence. That's why Adwa is very important to African continent, not only to Ethiopia, because it's a victory for the African, also for the black people.
Diversity should not be a weakness, rather it is a source of strength for all Africans, it was noted.
We are what we speak. We are the same. Unity will bring us strength, nothing else. But if we are divided, we're going to go back in history, and we need to move forward. We need to look at other parts of the world who were colonized like Africans, and they are now far better than us. Why? We have more resources than them. We have everything in this continent. Only unity can make us go further.
If you look at currently we are so divided, whether it is tribalism, so many ethnic issues, whether it is religion, we are all divided. But Adwa did not look at that. The values that were there. It did not matter whether you are a Christian or a Muslim. It did not matter whether you are from a different tribe. It did not matter what type of cultural values you had. It was beyond that. And it will only be good if we all look beyond ourselves and then we say, what is good for us?
Similarly, Zambian ambassador to Ethiopia applauds the victory of Adwa for its remarkable role for Africans and the black people around the world in their fight for freedom. In an interview with ETV, the ambassador has expressed his best wishes to Ethiopians and Africans on the occasion of the 125th anniversary of the grand victory of Adwa. Jerusalem Bezahar presents the story as follows.
Emmanuel Momba is Zambian ambassador to Ethiopia and permanent representative to the AU. In his best wish to Ethiopians on the occasion of Adwa victory, Ambassador Momba stated that Ethiopians had become a hope to other Africans who were under colonial occupation due to the victory of Adwa. He added the victory of Adwa was also an engine to unite and strengthen cooperation among Africans as a continent, and it was also a source to the Pan-African movement. That's why Adwa is African victory.
The victory at Adwa by Ethiopia was symbolic. It is a celebration for all of us in Africa because it demonstrated the resistance of Africa against colonialism, against occupation, and against oppression that came, with the colonial period. Ethiopia led in this process. And, the empire actually won against a formidable army of the Italians. This victory was just not for Ethiopia. It was for Africa because it symbolized that Pan-African could survive colonialism and that we could resist colonial invasion in our territories.
The ambassador reiterated that, though Africa is now fully liberated from colonialism, there still remains economic liberation. Therefore, Africans should unite and work hard to ensure economic independence on the continent.
The entire Africa is now free. We are politically free from South Africa to Morocco, from Egypt, to Senegal, from Senegal to Addis Ababa. We are free, but we are facing new challenges, economic difficulties in Africa. So the new war is against poverty and against underdevelopment, that Africa should be free economically, the way we've been free with political independence. And the victory at Adwa inspires us afresh that we still have battles ahead of us as Africa, but we can overcome and win.
The ambassador also recommends that all Africans' movement for freedom should be included in the education system of Africa, thereby handing over history to the generation to come on the basis of African ideology.
Number one, we need to decolonize our education system. We need to write our own history. We need to incorporate stories such as the Adwa victory in our textbooks across Africa. We need to tell our own story. The current story is that has been told on our behalf, by colonial legacy. This is a time for Africa to rise and tell its own story so that the inspiration from victories like Adwa can inspire the new generation. They would know that the sacrifices of our forefathers and foremothers was not in vain.
History indicates that Adwa turned Ethiopia into a symbol of freedom for black people globally.
And Alma Kufle, a historian and lawyer, said Ethiopians' invincibility and commitment came from the concrete reason that they fought a just war to keep the sovereignty of their country. He pointed out that the victory of Adwa has benefited Ethiopia's politics locally and internationally. Emmanuel Jorge reports.
As history shows clearly, Ethiopia has numerous war experiences in different battlefields to defend its independence. But except its sovereignty is ventured, Ethiopia as a nation has never been entering to war to invade any other country. A historian and lawyer Alma Kefle said the cause of this undefeatable nature of Ethiopia is that they entered into war for justice.
Wars that enjoyed by or entertained by Ethiopian governments was a kind of just war. It's a kind of just. She did make no attempt to invade any nation, any country or any neighboring country. But there were attempts made by many countries to just to make an incursion to the territory of Ethiopia forcefully. In the meantime, Ethiopians had a tradition to defend their own country because of justice, to defend their own sovereignty. It was very easy for the ruling governments to mobilize people because it's a kind of just war.
He underscored that Adwa has created a new political arena where regional lords have completely stopped fighting against each other and cooperated as one people.
It brought several advantages, locally and internationally. When we see local elements or local developments, it made the nation more integrated than before, both politically and economically. At the same time, it increased recognition of the emperor and his government. No, political structure was completely changed. The structure of government was completely changed. The political assignment was completely changed. The political tradition was completely changed after Adwa. There was no war in the country after Adwa because everyone paid due recognition for each other, and it was easy for the ruling government to communicate with regional lords to facilitate its own business. Internationally, it gave due recognition for Ethiopia as a nation, as an entity which could have equal political legitimacy with the rest of the world.
According to him, today's independent Ethiopia is the result of sacrifice of many lives at the Battle of Adwa.
The current Ethiopia, which we are living now, is the result of that generation who paid his life, who just paid all the costs to save sovereignty of the nation, liberty of the nation, independence of the nation. Now, this government, the current nation, when we compare and contrast, we didn't use the fruits of Adwa effectively, but it played a significant role in creating the modern Ethiopia. The modern Ethiopia is a result of that very important historical circumstance, which consolidated and brought different nations and nationalities together. And it provided opportunities for all nations and nationalities to contribute their own country. Now they are claiming that the country belongs to them. Ownership of the country was born as a result of the Adwa.
Battle and victory of Adwa is said to mark the uniqueness of Ethiopia in the history of humanity. That is a battle and victory of Adwa. And as such, the victory is a major landmark that has made other nations across the globe look up to Ethiopia. The remarks were made by Professor Haggai Erlich. The Israeli professor, however, advised Ethiopia to do more than just celebrate the momentous day every year. Well, that's all about it. Many thanks for staying with us. And before we wrap up, a reminder of our top story today. President Sahle Zewde says Adwa witnesses that Ethiopia is not only the origin of humanity, but also of undying history the whole world looks up to. Many thanks again, and as always, please do stay safe.